So, hey guys, back again, and this is with my Gravekeeper's deck. Now, you saw on Monday the Gravekeeper deck in full flow against a few varied decks, and basically to my new subscribers, this is what I do on Wednesdays. Wednesdays is when I talk about the deck, why I've chosen specific cards, and really what's in the deck. And so, let's get straight into it. Now, obviously I'm playing 2 Commandant, 2 Descendant, 3 Recruiter, and 3 Spy. That is pretty much the basic Gravekeeper monster lineup. If you're making a Gravekeeper's deck, you should pretty much have. Some people like 3 Commandant. I don't really like 3. 2 I think is good enough. You're playing 3 Necro Valley anyway, so you're going to draw into them. And 2 Commandant is good enough. So yeah, that's why I only played 2. 2 Descendant, just to use those pops. When you have a Recruiter, you get to Tribute Recruiter, pop one of your opponent's card, then get a free search from Recruiter. It's just lovely play. And Spy obviously just brings out basically all your Gravekeepers, apart from, I think it doesn't bring out Commandant. I think it's the only one it can't bring out because 1500 or less attack. But yeah, it's brilliant. The only issue with Recruiter obviously is that it doesn't search Spy because this is on defense, not attack. But it's not too much of an issue really. You're really, when you Recruiter gets run over or Tribute, you're going to probably be searching for Commandant, and if not, I usually like to search out the Assailant. So the next 2 tech Gravekeeper cards I play are Assailant and Guard. Now Assailant is just an incredible card. It's one of the best tech cards in Gravekeepers. You should probably be playing at 1. The ability to change your opponent's position, or even not the one you're attacking. You might have 2 cards on the field. Let's say you have the Assailant and a Commandant, and you attack your Assailant into one it can run over, and then use Assailant's effect to move a defense position, 2000 point defense position, into attack mode, or something else into attack mode, and then Commandant can then run over that, because it doesn't have to be the one you're targeting, it can be any of your opponent's monsters. So it's really useful, and just that ability to change. A lot of big boss monsters don't have high defense, and the ones that are being made don't really have high defense either, so you can really run them over quite easily. And most of your monsters are usually 2000 attackers anyway with Necro Valley on the field. It gets over a lot. Being a level 4 or so, it can overlay and stuff like that, so it's really handy. Next is Guard. I like Guard just as a simple tech card because I was trying out Snowman Eater in this deck. I was trying out something just to pop monsters because I needed something. I was thinking Smashing Ground or something like that, but I really like Guard in the deck. One thing, it's a Gravekeeper, so you can search it. Secondly, it gets some really huge defense with Necro Valley on the field, and it's already 19 anyway, so Thunder Kings and stuff can't run over it. And it can bounce those key cards back to the extra deck or to your hand, so I really like Guard, and it's a level 4 again. The 2 Blackwing cards I play are Zephyros and Gale. Basically, I play 1 for XYZs and 1 for Synchros. That's basically all they do. But Blackwing Gale, the Whirlwind's also very useful. It can get rid of Spirit Reapers because you target them and stuff. You can lower the attack of big monsters because big monsters can scare this deck. Zephyros is really key because you can get your Fiendish Chains and stuff like that back. You can also get your Spies or your Necro Valleys back into your hand to replay them or stuff. So it's just a really useful card, and then you can overlay into it. Or even Special Summon Gale with this on the field. It's quite handy because if you summon Zephyros, you can actually Special Summon Gale as a free card. So that's really good as well, and then you can Synchro Summon into one of these. Next I play Mole. Again, Mole's just another key card. I like using Mole as a kind of sacrifice card to get rid of really key monsters. I like Summon Mole, and then if I've got a Royal Tribute, I can then activate Royal Tribute in main phase 2 after I've attacked with Mole. That's why you really use Mole for, but it also gets rid of those Raikos and stuff, those face downs that you don't really want to know about. And when you have a nice setup on your field, just summoning a Mole can get rid of those key cards. I really like Mole. I play 1 Malefic Stardust. Most people play 2 if they're going to play it. They either don't play any or play 2. Obviously you play it to protect your Necro Valley. I like it at 1 at the moment actually, it's really playing nicely. When it's summoned onto the field, the issue is that you can only attack with it. So you can be summoning all these really nice monsters, but you can't attack with them, which is the issue, which I've had, because then your opponent can just keep setting 1 monster and you can't really do anything. That is the issue of Malefics. Especially if I've had a few Scrap Iron Scarecrows flipped up as well, and I just can't do anything. But I really just like it at 1. I don't summon it often, but when I do, I just use it as a protection for Necro Valley or just a big beater to get over those key monsters. But I really like it at 1, guys. I also play 1 Spirit Reaper just to stall when I don't really draw into anything, because it's not the fastest deck, Gravekeepers. You've got to have some skill in slowing the duel down, and Spirit Reaper does slow the duel down, and it is it just halts a lot of decks, so yeah, it's quite useful. I then play Heavy Storm and Dark Hole, 2 MSTs. I'm not really going to go over those because pretty much they're normal in every deck. Not everyone plays Heavy Storm in these decks because they're a Necro Rally, but Heavy Storm still works with Necro Rally, so don't worry, I usually play Heavy Storm. I also play 2 Royal Tribute. Obviously it's the broken card in Gravekeepers, it gives them their edge. A lot of people don't like this card and feel it needs to be banned and stuff. I really don't think it does, because I think it would make Gravekeepers basically completely uncompetitive. This is the card that makes Gravekeepers competitive. All decks need a power play, and even though people like basically as soon as you play this go, oh that was unskillful, no, oh scoop. Really, it gives us the play. It's like when people talk about banning cards in other people's decks that are like their big power play cards. They may be broken, but like banning Judgment Dragon would break Lightswarm. You can't do that. It's a broken card, but it makes that deck. Royal Tribute really does make this deck, and you still need Necro Valley on the field, and you still lose monsters as well. So it's not completely broken in that sense, and you can get rid of Necro Valley very easily. A lot of people play MSTs now at 3 and stuff like that. It's not that hard to stop Royal Tribute, so I like it at 2. It should just stay at 2, I think, and it's just a good card. I also play 2 Steel just to add back all these Gravekeepers back to the hand. It is a bit broken when you play Tribute and then Steel back the cards you've just sent, but Steel's just an amazing card to just add those free cards, and Necro Valley doesn't stop it. I then play the triple Necro Valley. If you're not playing triple Necro Valley in a Gravekeepers deck, you don't know how to play Gravekeepers. So basically this is the card that everyone fears if you want to keep it on the field as much as possible. I play Monster Reborn, which a lot of people don't play in Gravekeepers, because I play Zephyros, and because Necro Valley does disappear a few times, and just having that Monster Reborn as backup when you've ran out of Necro Valleys or something is actually quite useful. Trap lineups are reasonably large, but pretty basic. 2 Bottomless, 2 Mirror Force, 2 Torrential, 2 Phoenix Chain, 2 Solemn, and 1 Huge Revolution is over. You're going to want to be playing a pretty large trap lineup, at least 10 usually in Gravekeepers, because we need those traps basically to get rid of certain monsters and stuff. I play the big destroyers of Mirror Force and Torrential just because Torrential is really useful in this deck with Recruiter and stuff, and sometimes you don't actually want Spy on the field anymore, because when it's in attack mode it can be sometimes a bit pointless when you're not drawing into the right cards, because the 1700 attack isn't that much. Mirror Force is just a good protector. 2 Bottomless to get rid of the recent Fire Kings and stuff like that. Phoenix Chain, because I'm playing Zephyros, double Phoenix Chain's really nice. 2 Solemns just to get rid of those faster cards that you can never always stop. And Huge Revolution and over, just a single defense against those Dark Holes and Heavy Storms at the moment. It's just, I find it better than Starlight Road basically, because it's counter traps, so trap stun and stuff can't stop it. Okay, extra deck. I play 1 Stardust for the Malefic. 7s I play Black Crows and Ancient Fairy Dragon. Now this isn't actually the Ancient Fairy Dragon, this isn't actually released, guys, yet. So you probably could switch this out for another level 7, maybe something like Scrap Arc Fiend, because it's a bigger monster really, or another XYZ. I'm just trying it out here for future reference really. Black Crows just blow up the field, but Ancient Fairy Dragon's effect is you can when you play a field spell you get to draw a card, so obviously when you play your Necro Valleys and stuff you get to draw a card, great. But you also get to pop a face-up attack position monster each turn, which as long as there's a field spell on the field, and that's really amazing. Especially if you want to pop your Malefic Stardust so you can attack with everything. I do that a few times, but it gets rid of those key monsters, and it's a 3,000 point defender. If this comes out, it does help Gravekeepers, and I really like this card. But the other Ancient Fairy Dragon would work as well, or you could just try something else. I play Utopia, Shockmaster, Photon Papillocrative, Black Ship of Corn, Zenmeister, Roach, Djinn, Dweller, Gunman, Pearl, Leviathan Dragon, and Zenmains. Now these are just pretty common XYZs. You make level 4s quite easily. You can get into a Shockmaster with Spy and stuff quite easily as well. Utopia is just for stall and a big beater. Shockmaster is just for when you need to negate some key cards. Papillocrative is obviously just get rid of those face downs and stuff. Or defense position monsters. Corn gets rid of Zenmains and stuff. Zenmeister works with your Spy and is quite a big attack point monster when it's actually got some XYZ on it as well. Roach is just getting against like dragons and stuff. Djinn is a good defender and it's a Book of Moon. Dweller, just so you can completely negate the graveyard in one big turn. Gunman, just useful for getting rid of those last few life points. Pearl's just another big beater. Leviathan, because I can make level 3s reasonably easy, and it's another good beater to get over some key monsters. And Zen Maids, because it's good defense as well. My side is pretty... you could just change this around really to your own personal preference. I play a Jinzo just to protect against burn and Exodia and stuff. One Effect Veiler, just this could go out and switch for something else, just because I love Effect Veiler. 2 Forbidden Lance for Fire Fists, should I say. Night Beam for so many decks, basically. Anything that plays traps or spells. Huge Revolution over to defend against Fire Kings. Mind Crush to defend against Wind-Ups and Mermails, and loads of decks recently they have to reveal, and Prophecy. Gozen match against Wind-Ups. Light Imprisoning Mirror against Agents and other light decks like Light Swarm, and 1 Soul Drain against Mermails and Fire Kings, and everything relies on the graveyard. So that is the deck, guys. What do you think about it? I think it's quite a pretty competitive deck, and it works pretty nicely. It's good. I think it's quite a good Gravekeeper build, personally. What would you change? You could say that just change the side deck around quite easily. Gravekeepers can easily switch their side deck and extra deck, to be honest. You could change them to your own preference, really. But the main deck is pretty solid, and it's working pretty nicely as well. I could change a few cards out and now. I can't sometimes think of getting rid of Mole for certain things, maybe Guard as well for certain things, but it works. So at the moment it's working really nicely. What do you think of the deck, guys? How would you play Gravekeepers? Think of your maybe post your Gravekeeper decks as well as video responses or something like that. Comment below, guys. As always, hope you've enjoyed this video, and see you around. Cheers!